Hi there, this is Natasha. I am a crochet tutor and designer at My Creative Butterfly. I teach crochet through my courses, classes, and patterns not just as a hobby but also as a tool that will help you be more mindful in your day to day life. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and if you like what you learned today, don't forget to like and subscribe. So, in today's tutorial, I'll show you how to crochet this pretty miniature daisy. It is very simple to crochet. If you are an advanced beginner or an intermediate crocheter, this is a perfect pattern for you. It will just require a fine thread and a fine crochet hook. So you should have a little experience with working with the fine hook and the fine crochet threads like size 20, size 40, size 80 and such. So without wasting any more time, let me first show you the tools and materials that you'll need in order to crochet this pretty daisy of your own. So we'll start with the thread. So for this daisy, I'm using size 40 100% crochet cotton thread. Since I'm doing a daisy, I want to do a white one. If you want, you can also use a purple color for making a purple daisy. So I'll be using yellow for the center of the flower, white for the petals, and green for the stamen of the flower. Make sure that the green that you are using is somewhat similar to the floral tape that you'll be using for making the stem. Otherwise it looks very artificial. If both are same, it gives it a more naturalistic look. So with this, you'll also need a 0.6 mm crochet hook. I'm using a tulip hook with ergonomic handle. With this, you'll need a sharp pair of scissors for cutting the thread, and I'm using a 0.3 mm aluminium wire. This will be used for making the stem. You can use any thin flexible wire that you have lying around. And with this, you can also use a wire cutter for cutting the wire. If you want, you can do that with any other source also if you want, but it is good to have a plier handy. With this, the last thing that you'll need is a good quality fabric glue for assembling the flower. This will be used for attaching the stamen to the main flower head. You can use any other school glue as well, but I prefer using fabric glue because it is washproof and the flower will be more long lasting if you use a good quality glue for making your flower. So that's about it. This is the tools and materials that you will need. Now let us start with the crocheting of the flower. So as you can see that the flower starts with the yellow center. So we'll start with the yellow thread first. Let me just zoom in a little so that you can see closely what I'm doing. So I'm going to start with the yellow thread. The flower starts with a magic ring. So for doing a magic ring, wrap the yarn 2 times around your index finger like this. Insert the hook under both the loops. Gently remove the loops from your finger, and we'll just place a slip stitch to secure this ring. So this is a magic ring. The entire circle will be, the entire center of the flower will be worked in this. There are a number of different ways of doing magic rings. If you know some other method, you can use that as well. I prefer this one, that is why I showed you this. Now we'll do 7 single crochets in this magic ring. So I'm done with 7. Now to close the magic ring, take this starting tail of thread, hold this crocheted part securely between your thumb and your index finger and pull this end till the center disappears, the central gap disappears. Now to finish the circle, I'm just going to do a slip stitch. I'll not do it in the first single crochet, I'll do it in the second single crochet. So do a slip stitch here and your central circle is complete. Now we'll see how to do the petals. So for the petal, I'm going to add the white thread to the work. So just take the white end of the thread and we'll just pass the white thread through the yellow thread like this, and then pull the working end of the yellow thread tightly so that the joint disappears. Now before we start making the petals, to secure the joint, I'm just going to do a slip stitch in the next single crochet. So do a slip stitch here. Now we'll start doing the petals. All the petals will be of the same pattern. So we'll start with a slip stitch always, slip stitch in the next stitch, then chain 2, then a double crochet in the same stitch, then again chain 2 and a slip stitch in the same stitch. So this is your first petal. Repeat the same thing in the next stitch as well. Slip stitch, chain 2, double crochet in the same stitch, chain 2, slip stitch in the same stitch again. So here we are done with 2 of the petals. Just keep repeating the same thing 4 more times all the way around till you have a total 6 petals, then your daisy will be done. Slip stitch, chain 2, 1 double crochet, again chain 2 and another double crochet stitch in the same stitch. Do this 2 more times till you have a petal in each of the single crochet stitches of the previous round. Like this. So now when all the petals are done, to finish it off, I'll do a slip stitch here at the base of the first petal. Like this. Now just cut off the thread. Now we'll cut off the yellow thread as well. Now secure this end by pulling through the loop. Now I'll just pass this end of the thread to the back of the flower. Like this, pull it tightly. Just shape the flower gently with your fingers. So your flower is done. Now to finish it, I'll just take the 2 yellow strands and the 2 white strands separately. And we'll just tie 2 square knots in this. Now before cutting it off, just hold all the 4 strands together and pull it to the center of the flower like this. And now just cut it off. You don't need to weave them in because they'll hide once we glue the stamen at the back of the flower. So here your flower is ready. Now let us see how to do the stamens. For the stamen, I'm just going to use the green thread. We'll again start with a magic ring. So for doing the magic ring, wrap the yarn 2 times around your index finger. Gently remove your finger and place a slip stitch here. Now make 2 chains. And now we are going to do 8 half double crochets in the magic ring. Just do 8 half double crochets, nice and even. Just make sure that you don't fray the yarn because it is very fine yarn and a fine hook. So sometimes the hook tends to go in between the fibers of the thread. So make sure that you are not doing that. Once you are done, again close the magic ring same way as you did for the center. Now to finish it off, go in the second chain of the first chain 2 that we did and do a slip stitch like this. Again cut off the thread, secure the end, and we are just going to pass this thread through a few stitches so that it goes towards the center like this. Then again we'll repeat the same thing, just tie 2 square knots in these 2 thread ends. And we'll just cut off the thread again like we did for the main flower head. With this, the back of the flower, that is the stamen, is also ready. Our flower head is also ready. Now let us see how to assemble it. So for assembling, I'm just going to cut a very small piece of the 3.3 mm wire that we have. I'm going to take a 3 to 3.5 inches long tail of long wire. Now take anything narrow like a toothpick or a chopstick or something like that, and just wrap the wire around it 2 or 3 times to create a spring type thing on the end like this. And then I'm just going to fold the wire to the base like this. Now take the stamen of the wire, of the flower, and I'm just going to pass the wire through the center of the stamen like this. And now take the fabric glue and apply a nice generous dot of glue on the wire as well as the stamen like this, and then just glue the flower head on the stamen. Flip the flower over and make sure that both the pieces are nicely attached to each other. Now before we add the floral tape, I'm just going to let it dry. I have another piece that I had already glued, and this is dry already. So once it is dry, nice and dry, I'm just going to add the floral tape to it. So the floral tape's glue is activated once you stretch it. So just stretch a small piece of tape and then just start winding it to the wire, starting very close to the flower head. As you can see, no wire should be visible. Keep twisting it between the index finger and the thumb like this so that it is nice, neat and tight. Once you reach the end, don't cut it off, just pull the tape like this so that it is drawn. Now the length is too long. I want it shorter, so I'll just cut it here like this. So with this, your flower is ready. You can use them to decorate, you can use them to make buttoners or even rings or earrings or anything that you want. I would prefer to take a small glass bottle and display them in that I'll show you in the photographs later on. So this is a very pretty and a quick tutorial for you. Make a nice mini bouquet for gifting it to someone who likes miniatures. You can use it for a car decor also if you want. You can use it as a keychain or a charm as well. So this is all for today's tutorial. I hope you enjoyed what you learned today. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'll be more than happy to help. So please do comment if you have anything to say. So that is all from my side today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy crocheting. Bye bye.